And now for the newest edition of Faces of LO with Jamison Fanning.
When the first semester ended, many seniors graduated early so they could enter the working world before the summer. One of these students is Logan Curtis, who is training with the Oxford Fire Department. We met up with him and some of his colleagues at the department to see how it's been going.
All right, so starting early last year, I just kind of woke up and decided I wanted to contact this fire department because I live in Oxford and figure out what I could do to get involved because I know some places have cadet programs. So I started getting involved when I was 17, which was a big deal for me, doing orientation, getting enrolled for Fire Academy, start looking at EMT classes, paramedic and onward. And I started meeting people here, enjoying the company of people, learning things every day. You could go out there and ask somebody to teach you how to do something, they'll do it. So once you make that call, you get really involved and you start falling in love with it every day. So future plans, there's a couple different things. After I take medic, which is about a year from now, they have a nursing bridge from there. So I'm going to do that. We work 10 days a month because they're 24-hour shifts. And I'm going to take on shifts at a hospital as a nurse. And once you gain that nursing experience and medic experience, you qualify to become a life flight nurse, which is what I plan to do long term. So, working at U of M and flying around the country to take care of patients.
Well, Logan was kind of easy because he came to us with zero training already. So there was really no process for us except to send him to the schools that he needs. So right now he's in Fire Academy. When he gets done with Fire Academy, we'll send him to an EMT Academy. So really that's the process for now.
So we have a lot of new recruits that come through. Lately the fire service has had a lull in people coming into this line of work. And so there's a lot of open jobs and open positions, which has not been the same as in the past. So it's good to have people interested in coming into the department because there hasn't been that in the past.
As long as we keep him interested and keep training him the way we're supposed to train him, we're going to keep him for a long time in the service. Rather than somebody coming to us who's 25, right? So half of their adult life is kind of almost over, especially in the fire service, because we don't last long in the fire service just because of how strenuous it is. So pretty exciting to have him on board with us.
From Oxford Fire Station 1 for WDBC, I'm Jamison Fanning.
As the build season begins to draw to a close, the robotics team has been working hard to put the finishing touches on this year's robot. Jamison Fanning has the story.
The Lake Orion Robotics team has been diligently working for the last 4 weeks to create a machine capable of making it to the For Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology, or FIRST, Robotics Championship in Houston. I caught up with them to see how they've been preparing.
So our kickoff week was the first Saturday in January, and that's when we started developing our ideas. And we had 6 weeks where we built our robot. They're called the build weeks, and then 1 week called Comp Week 0. That's basically kind of like an off week where there's not competitions, but it's the end of build season. And then this is this is Comp Week 1. So we're getting just the start of our competition season where we go to either in-state or out-of-state competitions and compete.
The business sub-team is in charge of raising the team's finances and writing our award essays. To start with the finances, we needed to raise $26,000 this year so that we could travel to our competitions, and the business sub-team was in charge of raising that money. If I recall correctly, the fundraising competition this year ended with $18,000 raised out of our goal, which is incredibly successful because we need we needed that to go to our Pittsburgh competition, our regional, and to Houston for Worlds if we make it that far, which we're hoping that we do.
So each year we have a challenge. So this year's challenge is we have to shoot balls, and at the end we have to climb. The big thing that's up right now is the climber, and then the thing with the white thing with the blue ball, that's our shooter. So our first competition is in 2 weeks. So we're going to Pittsburgh, and that's pretty much when it has to be done. Like, we have to have a robot to compete at that competition, but we will still be working on it after that competition and before our next ones, and all basically until we haven't advanced anymore, we don't have any more competitions.
There's 6 build season sub-teams: fabrication, electrical or controls, CAD, software, business, and program management. Each of them serves a different role during the build team, and when we all work together, we become one team. And that is our motto for the season. It's really cool. And I'm just so happy to be a part of this.
For WDBC, I'm Jamison Fanning.
The Dungeons & Dragons Club is another group that's getting their year underway. Here's Jamison Fanning with more.
While there are many clubs at Lake Orion High School, there aren't many that are as large or as popular as the D&D Club. I came down to one of their meetings to see what it's all about.
Well, the D&D Tabletop Gaming Club started about 10 years ago. A student asked if he could hang up some flyers because he wanted to play a game. He played Magic the Gathering at the time. And so we started with that club, and over the years, students kind of stopped playing Magic the Gathering and started playing D&D. So now we're primarily a D&D club.
You can do whatever you want. If you don't want to do D&D, there's Magic, or if you want to just come here just to hang out with other people who are interested in like nerd stuff or geek club or anything really. Just a good club just to be in, just with a lot of interesting people, with crazy imaginations and a lot of good energy.
I have a lot of friends in it, and they wanted me to join. They needed new people, so everybody's very passionate about D&D. It's been very fun so far. You're very free to be creative with what you want your character to do or be. Lots of freedom for expression.
We would love anybody that's interested in gaming of any sort to show up. We have some students playing Magic the Gathering today. I've got some personal games I've brought in. So you don't have to know a game. You just have to like gaming. It's a GAP club, so you got to fill out the GAP form, pay the GAP fee, and we'd love to see you every Wednesday after school.
If you want to see more about D&D Club, come to room C302 from 2:45 to 5 o'clock on Wednesdays to come to one of their meetings. For WDBC, I'm Jamison Fanning.
For more information on Dungeons & Dragons Club, contact advisor Stephen Ty at steven.ty@lok12.org. D&D meets on Wednesdays in room C302 after school.
This year's Lake Orion Economics team traveled to Macomb 2 Fridays ago to compete in the Economic Education Michigan Economic Competition for a chance to go into the Nationals in New York.
It went both better and worse than expected. On one hand, we took 4th in the state. On the other hand, we had some subpar performance.
So the questions are in 3 groups. One is for AP, is microeconomics, one is macroeconomics, and then one's a team competition. They did fantastic in the team, they did pretty good in the micro, but 2 of the kids had taken macroeconomics, 2 had not. And so that left a big hole. We probably should have selected our team members a little better in order to do that. They take 3 out of the 4 top highest scores, so if we just had one more macro person, perhaps we would have made the finals. But we were a little short there, and next year we have room to grow to get better.
The next area of improvement is going to be micro, but that's an area of improvement for almost every single other team in the competition. So we'll work on it, but the main focus point that we're going to win next year is because we're going to have a team that all knows macro.